Hi Darrell, we're here to talk about the Springboard Series. What is it? What is Springboard Series?
Well, Springboard is a new program that we're putting together for IT pros to help onboard them for Vista deployment. We've done a lot of research talking directly with IT pros, and what we found is that while there's a lot of great information from Microsoft and partners on deploying Vista, in many cases it's not served up in a way that they find it's accessible to them. Either it's very complex at an early stage of what they're going through, or it's missing some major components that are of concern to them in their environment.
Okay, so you're referring to the business desktop deployment. So what's the difference between that and the Springboard Series?
Great question. Business desktop deployment is a specific tool that's very valuable for an IT pro who has decided we're going to begin deploying. However, if you look at the way they actually go through, like the thought process of doing a deployment, there's a number of questions they ask themselves very early on. And the issue with business desktop deployment is it comes in with the mindset that, okay, you're taking step B, C, and D. When we talk to IT pros, there's a lot of things they have to go through before they even get to step B. And so what the Springboard Series does is we based it on an understanding of the true life cycle that an IT pro goes through, from their early awareness of the capability of Vista, then the capability of Vista as a managed node. Most of us know Vista as an end user. Then exploring it for how do you manage it, how do you go through a pilot, and then how do you deploy. So in the case of BDD, it's a great set of tools when you're in the pilot phase, but if you're just trying to learn about how do I manage Vista, it's just too intimidating. You have a 1,500-page document, and that most IT pros find that's just too much for them. So what Springboard does is it takes all the different aspects you need to know about deploying Vista, what are the tools you need, what are some of the gotchas you have to get over, and we line them up in a line to that the lifecycle adoption curve. So the questions are going through early on, what's in it for me, how's it different from Windows XP, are answered in the language that's appropriate for that stage. If they're late in the cycle, how do I best choose users for a pilot? That's going to be handled by a different set of content that's perhaps more technical and probably as part of a tool like BDD.
Okay, so that makes sense. Well, BDD is more like you're already designing in the functional level or technical level. You're saying you can use the Springboard for exploration, even the phases before that.
Yes.
But how does that relate, for instance, to we also have something like core infrastructure optimization, in which we also have similar things. Is there a difference between it, or is it almost the same?
It's complementary. The best way to think of Springboard is a holistic resource for deploying complex software. And so core infrastructure optimization, or the one relevant to us is desktop optimization, has several components. You've got Vista, MDOP, in some cases, well, System Center and Office. Each one of those is a set of deployments or set of actions. What we're doing is we're taking that whole set or that whole series of actions you need to go through. What's the information I need as an IT pro? What are the tools I want to use? And we're surfacing them up to them into IT pros in a way that really is digestible. And most important, it's the most relevant because it comes at the time they're thinking about that particular issue.
This sounds really technical, so this is basically aimed at IT pros. So is it also on the TechNet website? Where can we get this stuff?
Great question. It is technical, and yet we've got it very much served up by different levels. If you were to think about the structure, it's a matrix between early issues to late issues in that deployment cycle, but also from 100 level all the way to 400 level. Very non-technical, more for beginners, and each one of these phases drop down to a technical level. It is for IT pros, but we also recognize that different IT pros have different levels of technical competence and different specializations. Some organizations, one person's got to cover it all, so they're not going to have the depth technically as another organization has a true specialist. All of this information will be accessible via TechNet. We have a website that is a entry point into Springboard. It's www.microsoft.com/technet/Springboard. And that can bring you right into the home page, and it's really easy to navigate. Again, navigate by where are you on the life cycle, and how deep do you need to go, what are all the issues. Best way to say it is we've surfaced up the best of the best resources for the IT pro.
Okay, well thank you so much.
And thank you.